Malcolm Stent.
I've been waiting for years to do that.
Well,
Sit down.
Where did you get that clobber from?
Well, I've got to be honest, the jacket I got off a dead clown.
No, it's very nice. Now, can I just say to you,
Yes?
go and play up your end.
No, go and play up your own end.
Well, yes, but that was the
Oh, it's
expurgated, the
lunchtime,
unexpurgated version.
Yeah.
Why did you write a book about growing up in Brum, then?
Well, it wasn't really my idea, I've got to be
No.
honest. It
Go on
was a cartoonist friend of mine, Mick Davis, who came to see me at a gig, and he phoned me up the next day, and he said, you a comedian? And I said, yeah. He said, well, have you ever thought of writing a book?
You were that good, were you?
I was brilliant.
Yeah.
And he said, if ever you write a book, I mean, he knew that he was on a loser, you see.
Yeah.
He said, if ever you write a book, I'd love to illustrate it for you.
Well, let's have a look at some of the illustrations, shall we?
Right, all right.
And
What
you
we
can
can have a
tell
look
us...
at?
Now, what's that?
Oh, that's my dad. Now, my dad is the reason that I was brought up in abject poverty. That's him graining. Do you remember that graining? Do you remember when people used to grain the doors? Totally futile exercise for making real wood look like real wood. Yeah, it was incredible, really. And my dad had never worked a day in his life.
Yeah.
In fact, the last job he had was school prefect, my dad. But he would have worked if the Labour Exchange could have found work for him, you see, because back in the 30s, when he grew up, in the 20s and 30s, they used to have this saying, get yourself a trade, lad, and you'll be all right. Didn't matter what you wanted to do, get yourself a trade. So my dad took the only trade that seemed attractive to him at the time, which was the trade of a deep-sea trawlerman. Now, anybody who lives in Birmingham and is a deep-sea trawlerman has got to be on a loser. And that's why he never worked. And he'd been discharged from the army during the war with back trouble. Because he kept going on leave and they had to keep bringing him back. I'll get them all in.
The old gag, isn't it? Now, you talk about your dad with fondness there.
Yes.
You talk about all your family in this book. It's very much a family-orientated period, wasn't it?
Well, it was really, because I was only a little boy at the time, and the family were the only ones... sorry. The family were the only ones that I knew. But yes, I mean, my mum was a strong influence on my growing up, and I can remember when I first went to school, the week prior to going to school, and she took me to, I can say it now because I think they're closed, but it was a clothes shop on the Rock in Birmingham, because I come from Saltley in Birmingham. Now, Saltley was the first choice of venue for the Handsworth riots. I don't know if you know that. But when they turned up, they thought it had already been done. And, that's why they didn't do it there. And she took me to this clothes shop where all the little lads went for their school uniforms. And I can remember going in the clothes shop there, and the man says, well, what would you like? She said, I want a grey shirt, and I want a grey jumper for him, and some grey flannel shorts. And the words that were to dog me for the rest of my life when she said, we'll buy 'em big. If you can imagine, at the age of 5, and there I am, standing in this clothes shop in a pair of grey flannel shorts that would have fit Cyril Smith. And every year, I've got to tell you, because every year, what they used to do was, she used to turn them right up, you see, so I could wear them because they were ever so long.